notice that we've received an error because creating that route will put too much strain on this final chain here, this link here. So we realize that we can look at this link and say, okay, what's the link? It's from this extractor to the launchpad. I can click on that link and view the information. I realize this is the capacity that's used. We need to upgrade it. You can upgrade it by clicking this link, and you can click upgrade. There's a little bit of information in there, but we're not going to go into that. Now I can finally route this to my launchpad. Now you can see here that these are all routed through that entire chain I created at the beginning, and finally result at the launchpad. Once I hit submit, those will be extracting and resulting and being stored in this launchpad. And again, realize that the only link I had to upgrade was this first one. Now, sometimes you might have to upgrade the second one if you have even more going through, and that's usually only in places like low sec and 0, because your yield on your extractors is much higher. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the links on this second set. One thing I want you to notice now that I've finished the routing through these 6 extractors is that this is 99.87%, this link here. I didn't have to upgrade that, and that's because each of these extracts a different amount from their survey, their deposit that they're using. So your results will not be the same every time. So make sure not to waste and upgrade the links before actually realizing you've run out of space, because you might be lucky and end up with a result like this. So the next step now is to route these to your spaceport. But we can't do that yet because we haven't selected a schematic. To do that, you click on your processor, you click the schematics button, and you figure out which type you'd like to make. Just so happens that it is on the correct material. This is the material we want. It's going to be harvesting 3,000 it's going to require 3,000 microorganisms from the extractors, which it's pulling from the launchpad, and it's going to output 20 bacteria every half hour. Once you've selected the correct schematic, you hit submit. Now you realize again that it's not routed, so you double click. You can either double click your launchpad, or you can see here that you've selected the launchpad and you hit create route. This, once I hit submit, would be pulling materials from the launchpad, the base materials, producing bacteria, and putting it back into the launchpad. I'll go ahead and finish selecting the schematics and directing the materials back to the launchpad with the rest of my processors. Now that I've finished routing my processors to my launchpad, you can hit the submit button and everything will start working. Now, you're going to have to come back every, for my system, 5 hours, or for whatever time frame you pick. That's how often you'll have to come back. Again, there is leniency. If you yield 12,000 every 5 hours, and you are arguing between, or you're debating between that and a 23-hour cycle that only yields 200 in that 23 hours, it's going to be obvious that you're still going to yield more with the 5-hour cycle, even if you can only log in once a day. So you're going to have to do some math, and it's going to be based on how often you can log in and how often you want to have to check on your planets. But once you've done that, your planets are running, and you can keep coming back and refreshing your extractors. The only thing now that you need to do is launch your materials.